Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live counter review using technical analysis. So for today, the flow will be the same as per usual. First up, I'll go through the economic calendar. Then afterwards, I'll talk about the different different indices as well as commodities. Then afterwards, I'll go through some of the more popular sectors like the Magnificent Seven, US banks, US semicons, as well as EVs. Then also I'll also talk about last but not least, I also try to go through as much as the questions you all have in the Q&A. Yeah, so if you all have any counter you all want me to go through, you can just leave in the Q&A. So first up, in terms of the economic calendar wise, I think this week mostly filled up with Fed speaks. So and as well as some other events as well. So tonight there's OPEC monthly report earlier on 7 p.m. Then going afterwards, there's how much construction spending, wholesale trades. Um, Going to tomorrow, there's the IEA monthly report, 4 p.m. Afterwards, small business optimism at 6 p.m. Afterwards, FOMC Bowman speaking at 8:45 p.m. And then going into Wednesday, I think something important will be Fed Chair Powell will be speaking. So that will be Wednesday, 12:20 a.m. And then Fed Waller speaking 3:25 a.m. Fed Collins speaking at 3:30 a.m. Okay, then afterwards, Thursday, Fed FOMC Bosch speaking at 12:10 a.m. Fed Waller speaking at 1 a.m. Fed Schmidt speaks at 2:30 a.m. Afterwards, this PPI and retail sales, I think you can ignore it because of the ongoing government shutdown. All these data will not be released. Uh, then Fed Waller speaking 9 p.m. Thursday. Friday, core inventories 12 a.m. Okay. Then it's also FOMC Barking speaking 12:45, Kashkari speaking 6 a.m. Okay, then non-farm payrolls also not released as well. So yeah, generally all in all, because of the ongoing government shutdown, in terms of the economic events, most probably we're just seeing the Fed speaks. And the most important one I think will be to see what any comments Powell has. So that will be on Wednesday, 12:20. And then also I think latest update over the since last Friday was that the CPI will be released on 24th October, 8:30 p.m. Yeah, so that's the data that they will release even if the shutdown continues. So that's in terms of the economic calendar. Okay, next one I'll go through is the indices and commodities. So first up I'll talk about is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I think, yeah, with the market sell off last Friday, and then today we're currently seeing a rebound. Currently, I think testing this 5 MA level, this blue line, that's around close to 115K level. So I think this might be some short-term resistance since doing a rebound from the lows around 110K over here. So I think for now there might be some slight pullback. Afterwards, if you can take out this 116K level again, then there might be some possible further rebound towards like around 118K perhaps is the next level based on the horizontal level in the past over here, end of August to about mid-September. And then this could be close to the 10 MAD's red line over here as well. And then in terms of the support, I think it's still holding up in this range over here. So if it comes back down to this zone over here, 107K to 111K area, there might be some support coming. So overall, I think in the short term there might be some sideways range bound kind of trading going on. Yeah, in the absence of any more market moving events. Then next one for Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones, let's take a look at the chart. So for Dow Jones, I think is a critical level. So last Friday, actually we tested this trendline support again. So this support line has been I think has been a key support since start of May this year. And then in the short term wise, there's the sell-off on Friday also in the short term actually made the price come out of this short-term uptrend channel over here. So definitely some weakness in the short term, but what I think to look at this week will be to see whether, because currently all the futures are gapping up, to see whether this line will still hold as support or not. If it afterwards, after this sell off, then there's some rebound. Afterwards, if there's another break, I think that will be more significant if that happens. So for now, I think probably some slight rebound will take place, but I would expect resistance at the recent breakdown levels. There's about probably 46K to about 46.4K area over here. Yeah, I think that will be some short-term resistance. Yeah. And then in terms of the support, if there's a breakdown, I think the next key area of support will probably be around 44.5 to 45K area, which was this previous range consolidation resistance from July to start of July to about mid-August over here. So that will be the next area of support if there's another if the index makes a lower low this week. Yeah. And next one is the Nasdaq. Okay, I'll pull out the Nasdaq chart. Yeah, for Nasdaq, okay, despite the sell-off, so still doesn't look hasn't actually retested a key trend line level over here. So there's some pullback over here. I think short-term resistance, we might probably see some resistance at these 5, 10, 20 MA levels when there's a breakdown recently over here. So I'm expecting some possible resistance for about 22.5 to 22.8K area. And then in terms of support-wise, if it goes a bit, if there's a lower low this week, then I think the next key support level will be somewhere close to 21.8K. First level of support where this was a previous consolidation resistance mid-August to about start of September, and then this would also this will be around this trend line support over here as well. So that's 21.8K. Afterwards, if let's say if it's very sharp pullback, then the next key level of support I think will be somewhere close to 21K. That will be 100 MA, this blue line over here. Yeah, then there will be the lower end of the range. So that's some support levels for the Nasdaq. The next one for S&P. S&P also, I think what I noticed is that there's a break of the key. There was a breakdown of this key. It's a bit weaker than the other two, I feel, because Dow Jones is at the critical level, then Nasdaq hasn't tested the level, the trend line yet, but S&P from my chart, it feels like it's broken down. There's a breakdown on Friday. Today, there will be a gap up, but see whether this holds as resistance on or not. So for S&P on Friday, I think from my chart, it broke down this blue trend line support over here. That has been holding as support since end of May. And then also in terms of moving average, the 30 MA level, I think, has been holding as a bit of a dynamic support along the way in the same period as well. So Friday actually broke with a closing below that. I think that if it does retest like close to 6,670, this area over here, there might be some resistance that comes in. Also, given that prior to this sell-off, the index was just consolidating sideways, like 6,600, close to 6,700 area. Then around here, there might be some resistance if there's a retest that takes place. Yeah, if the afterwards, the next key level of support, I think for S&P will be a retest of the 6,480 level. So that will be somewhere closer to almost the 50 MA, below the 50 MA, which hasn't been tested for a long time since the rebound. And then so 6480 is also this previous range breakout level since the middle of August to the start of September. And then a lower support level, if it hits, will be to look at perhaps will be around close to 6,340s. So this will be lower end of the range and somewhere closer to the 100 MA, this blue line over here. So that's some possible levels there. I feel to look at for the index this week in case of market volatility again. Yeah, so that's for the indices. Then next one, I'll move on to gold. Yeah. So for gold, I think still very strong momentum. The trend line I'm looking at in the short term will be this trend line over here. So this is drawn from mid-September onwards. So it's still very strong trend. Overall, I see um as long as the price is still holding at least the short-term moving ranges, this 5 ME as well as 10 ME on the daily, and continues to remain along this uptrend support line, I think should still remain bullish in the short term. And I think some possible levels up next possibly will be around maybe 4,150 to 4,250 to test, yeah, for gold. Yeah, so still definitely one of the strongest, if not the strongest, uh, asset class in the market currently. That's gold. And currently some supports will be along this trend line as well as the moving averages over here. So that will be possibly somewhere close to the 4,000, 3,980, 4,000 area over there. The next one is oil. So oil, I think overall still weakness despite some rebound today, because if you look at the overall trend, price has just been on a very uh on a downtrend since end of June. And then recently there was also been a breakdown of this key around $62 support level. Price did a back test, but then continue to pull back with the market sell off on Friday. So some slight rebound today. I don't expect to reverse this trend. I think 61 to about 62, these areas should still hold as a bit of resistance. Given that overall is quite weak with the recent breakdown as well as trading, we can see that the 5 and as well as 10-day MAs are holding as a bit of resistance over here. So should we do a retest? I feel that it will meet some resistance. Then if it goes a bit, if it continues the downtrend, I think the next key area of support to look at will be somewhere around 50, closer to 55 to about 58, this area over here. So this is the year low level, where previously there was a bit of a double bottom over here around close to 55 over here. So I think if the price retests this level, this will be hold as a this level over here will hold as a bit of a short-term support for some bounce to take place. Yeah, so oil overall generally is still in a downtrend, and short-term price action also still showing the weakness as well. And next one for VIX, I think something that we should be looking at currently as well. So VIX has been not doing nothing much because the market has been steadily trending upwards. But then I think if there's a breakout of this range, then we should be more cautious. So currently, VIX generally has been holding around 15 to about 22, this area. This 22 area has been tested a few times, but overall, it has pulled back since then from those levels. So currently, we are seeing the same again. Today, VIX pulling back slightly, currently around 20.6. And I think short-term support-wise, I think I'm expecting this range between like 17 to about 19.5, this area over here as a short-term support. Then in the case where VIX breaks above 22 again, I think we should be cautious. The next level, that will represent a break of this range that has been holding since end May, that has made the market trend up steadily. So if VIX breaks out, then I think we should be more cautious. Yeah, above 22, the next level of resistance, I think based on previous levels, will be around 25, close to 25.50, and the next one around 20. 25.50 to about 28 will be the next key area. Yeah. Then afterwards 35. So these are some key levels, I think, based on since April this year. Yeah, so that's for the VIX, something to just look out for. And then next one, copper. Copper, I think still steadily trending higher over here. Then some resistance for now is around like 5.15. Then the top end of the resistance will probably be somewhere around 4.47, which was a horizontal range breakdown in the month of July. Then in terms of near-term supports, I think could be somewhere around the Friday lows, like 4.85 to 4.97 over here, this area. So that's it, generally my overview for the indices and commodities. Then next up, I'll talk about some of the sectors, and starting off with the tech sector. Yeah. So I'll talk about the Magnificent Seven first. So Uh, First one I'll show is the Max 7 ETF, this Round Magnificent E7 ETF. Yeah, so this the general trend has been trading upward, but with the market sell on Friday, looks like a potential breakdown. As of Friday's close breakdown of this range. Today is a big gap up again. So I think this level short term we might probably see some short term resistance around like 64 to about 64.50, this area over here, where there was a bit of consolidation over here prior to the sell down. Yeah, then I think in terms of the next strong support, I would think from this, might be a retest of this uptrend support line over here. If it does happen, so that might bring the price might come down towards like 61, 50, 60, 61 to about 61.50. I think this area will be will be a bit of a short-term support over here, which was this previous range resistance, yeah, since mid-August. Yeah, so overall for now some slight weakness, but with the futures gapping out today, still need a bit of further confirmation to see whether the breakdown is holds over here. If after this rebound, there's some continue if it breaks below continue breakdown afterwards, then I think 61 to 61.50 will be the next area of support for the Magnificent Seven. So overall, we might see some sideways or some further weakness going ahead. Okay, then next I'll move on to the individual stocks. So first one, Meta. So looking at Meta's chart, I think overall we're still seeing some weakness overall, because price this like 735 level around there was like the previous double top, holding as a range over here, also like another double top at 790. Afterwards, we've just seen weakness where breakdown of multiple levels of this 735 level, as well as some of these trendline supports. And price is holding this like 735 as a bit of support and resistance level. Yeah, then I think we might see a lower range form over here for now. 690 to 735. So 690, there was a test last Monday, and then we found support over here. So we might see another retest, would hold as support. So 690 was this horizontal support level in the second half of July over here. So that's one support level. Yeah, so that's for Meta. Next support level probably might be around 660 lah, 660 and then 630. So that's for Meta. So short term wise, I think some weakness will still continue unless it can try to hold above some of the short term 5 and 10 MA levels, and also try to cross back over 735. If not, I think at most maybe some range consolidation, do a retest of this swing low again, or it could even continue downwards momentum. Okay, next one is Apple. So Apple also seeing some weakness. Yeah, consider it like a retest of the previous all-time high, close to it, like was 259 over here. Then also sideways around 259. Then Thursday there was some weakness already, because broke down the 5 and 10 MA levels after moving sideways. And then price couldn't continue to move upwards after this consolidation. So and then Friday's filled this gap over here around 245, 246. So with that, I think for now, if it does retest this 20 MA level around 25, currently around 251 to about 254, this area where it was consolidating prior, I think this would likely be a bit of a short-term resistance. Then next near-term support, I think for now will be 241, which was this consolidation before price broke out for these two bullish days over here. So I think 241 will be a support level to look. Afterwards, maybe 235. Yeah, based on another horizontal level. So for now, I think Apple, yeah, looks like the bullish strength is coming off since it was moving sideways and couldn't go higher, and then afterwards we see a breakdown. So it might be forming a bit of a lower high over here. It might be facing some resistance in the short term. Then price might just move sideways or could possibly test this 241 level. Next one, Amazon. Amazon also, I think, still seeing some weakness on Friday. Initially, it was holding, was trying to gain some strength prior to that, around 222 over here, and then it held for 2 days and try to break out this level, standing above the 5 and 10 MA levels. Then afterwards on Friday, we see a bit of a sell off to test this support again, 216. So currently, I think two is pre-market around 219. So I think short-term resistance wise, probably around this 222 area over here, this horizontal level. And that's where currently around the 5 and 10 MAs are. And subsequently, if it does break below 216 again, I think we might see some weakness to test 211, this swing low again. That might hold as a bit of a support. Yeah, so that's for Amazon. Some lower levels below 211 would be also probably be 206 over here. Yeah, so Amazon for now still some with the sell on Friday looks like still some weakness continuing on for now. Then next one, Netflix. For Netflix, I think uh yeah, relatively quite resilient on Friday. Still just facing some resistance from this horizontal level over here around 1,230. So I think with that, you might we might see some a bit more strengths as well as a bit more strength as compared to the other counters. Yeah. So for now, maybe some sideways over here. Then short-term supports might come from this moving averages over here, like around 1,200, this 5, 10, 20 MA levels of short-term support. So I think we might still overall see this range hold up where the key resistance still is at around 1,260 level about there for Netflix. Okay, next one for Alphabet. I think overall, there's still some weakness going on. Since the breakdown of this trend, this very strong trend over here around 249, where price afterwards subsequently test 242, this level over here. Then there's some rebound, and afterwards still where this breakdown level around 250 held as a bit of resistance. Afterwards, breaking below the 5 and 10 MAs, short-term moving averages again. And price is going downwards again Friday when break down below this 239 level. So I think with that, yeah, I think with that we might see some continued perhaps weakness to test some lower levels. On the weekly, what I've noticed is that also there's a break below the 5 MA last week. So we might see a try to reconnect the 10 MA. Currently it's around 228. So that might shift a bit up this week. So that might be the next level of support. And then there 234, there's one level, and then next one is around 226. So we might see some bounces from these levels, but overall still quite weak unless you can try to break back above this 242 level as well as the short-term moving averages over here. And last but not least, I'll talk about Microsoft. So for Microsoft, yeah, initially was trying to look better where there was a break of this range over here between like 510 to about 520. Then on Friday, a bit of a breakdown below this level again. So I think overall it could come back to test this area of support over here, like that's around 505 to 510 this area again. And then we might see some resistance might come from this 518 to like 523 this area over here. And so maybe some short-term sideways trading as well. A bit more resilient as compared to the others. Yeah, for Microsoft. So in general, that's it for the big tech sector. So big tech, I think overall, some weakness where it broke in terms of if you look at the Mac 7 ETF wise, there was a breakdown of uh, this sideways over here on Friday. Yeah, but overall, I would say the medium term uptrend is still intact as long as this uptrend support line is still holding as a support over here, which I think it should be able to hold being a retest over here if it does. Okay, next one I'll move on to the financial sector. So first one is I'll take a look at chart of this Spider Financial Sector Fund XLF. So for this chart over here, okay, there looks to be some breakdown because I think overall since when I plotted it over here, this trend line has been pretty strong since November 2024. There was multiple retests along the way, but price just couldn't try to break out of it, and overall it's been moving in a range between like 53 to around 54 over here. And Friday broke down this level and this trend line support over here as well. So over here currently there might be some resistance around this 5260 level, which is this trend line, as well as this swing low around this swing low level as well over here. So the next key level of support will be somewhere closer to 51, around 5120 over here. Yeah, this where there was a test of this, a few swing lows over here, and this was a previous range resistance as well. So overall for the XLF, I think some weakness. It looks a bit weaker. Given that previously when the markets were trending upwards, it just moved sideways and then it followed with the sell off as well to break some of these levels. So XLF, this index looks weaker unless I think we see maybe how the bank earnings come out this week that will affect the stock prices as well. So but for now, from the chart itself, it still looks quite weak, and I think there might be some resistance around like this 52.7 around there if it does a retest. Okay, next one I'll talk about the four banks: JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, as well as Citibank. So first I'll start with JP Morgan. So for JP Morgan, I think we currently is a retest of this resistance this previous resistance level around 300. So I think probably see some rebound today. Then but I think most likely will be some maybe perhaps between 300 to like 310 this current area of resistance. While I think the market is waiting for the earnings to come out. So I think maybe still some continued range bound trading. Then we see how it goes after the earnings. Okay, next one is Bank of America. So Bank of America, we see there's a bit of a continue on the weakness since there's a breakdown of this $50.80 level. So it was consolidating in a range, and then afterwards see some weakness with the breakdown and back to test a lower support level, which is quite strong over here around 48.6, this previous range resistance now holding as support. So some bounce over here, but overall there might be still some weakness from the recent breakdown level here around 49.90, $50 around there. And currently its price is holding the 5-day MA as a resistance as well. So for now, maybe some slight bounce over here. And resistance $50 and support is like 40, around here 40, like 40, 48.70 about. Then I think there's also earnings coming out this week as well. So let's see how it goes after that. Okay, next one, Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo, okay, the chart isn't very good as well. So previously, range consolidation breakout 83. Afterwards, moved sideways for a few days, but afterwards we have a huge bearish candle over here below the this breakout of 83. And then subsequently moved sideways, but continue to trend along the 5 MA as a resistance. And on Friday broke down from eight below this $79.70. So prior to the sell on Friday, it was already weakness. And then currently I think it's close to this next support area, which is like 76 to 77 around here. So this probably still holds some bound, hold a bit of support for some bounce, but overall I think it will be still weak with like this 7950 was might still hold as a bit of resistance. So then afterwards we see again how afterwards following the earnings release. Yeah, then next one, last but not least, CD Group also showing weakness. So generally all the banks are in terms of the charts already showing weakness before the Fridays off, then also below this trend line support alone, as far as the previous breakout level, like 96.20. Yeah, so with that, I think next key support for now might be around $91, where there's this a few lower wicks over here doing a retest previously, and then currently for now resistance I think will be around $97. This horizontal breakdown level as well as currently I think around the 5 to 10 MA equilibrium. Yeah, so yeah, let's see how it goes after. In general, for the banks, I think those that are releasing earnings, let's see how their chart goes again. What's the changes after the earnings? And next one, I'll move on to the semicons. So first I'll start with the Philadelphia Semicon Index. I'm not sure why the chart today there's a print for the currently on Monday when but the regular trading hours haven't opened yet. So but in terms of the okay, but I'll explain in terms of the trend. I think this one of the is still quite a strong trend. And then this on Friday itself actually took it back to test the 20 MA level. And then recent horizontal breakout level is around close to 6,370 over here. So I think this will be a critical level to look out for. If subsequently the market breaks down below this level, then we'll probably see some more weakness coming for the semicon sector. For now, I think we'll most probably still see some range bound trading, where this currently there's some resistance around 6,870 area over here. So probably some range bound for now first. Yeah. Okay, now move on to the individual semicon stocks. So first up is Nvidia. So for Nvidia, in terms of the chart, I think it's still okay. So it has doing after the breakout of this 184, there's a back test over here. And then afterwards, price subsequently made a new high. And then Friday pulled it back down to this 184 level over here again. Currently the 20 MA level. Okay, currently then pre-market is about 188.60s plus for now. So I think this level is very important, which is this 183, 184. It must maintain above this level. It cannot keep testing and then afterwards cannot make a new high afterwards. If not, there could be some continued weakness ahead. Yeah, so I think this breakout level is very important to hold. And for now, I think maybe most probably there could be some sideways when where there's resistance like 191 to 195. Yeah, for Nvidia. So maybe some sideways trading. Then the 183, 184 level is important to hold for overall because this is also the 20 MA level, and then there's been two retests over here recently since the breakout. So this must hold for the overall uptrend to continue with this range consolidation breakout. Yeah, so that's my take. Next one, AMD. So AMD, last week very hot news that opened around the double top 227, some pullback, and then made a new high afterwards. Was afterwards came back down 227 over here. On Friday with a sell down. At least below this 5 MA level around 21, close to 220. So I think importantly for AMD, we will see whether how it tackles this 227 level again, which was previously a strong resistance. I think if today or if you can hold at least maybe afterwards with this rebound, if you can hold this level and try to close at it 1 or 2 days, as well as hold the 5 MA level again, then I think perhaps there's still a chance for it to hold new highs afterwards. Given that this prior resistance has been tested a few times, and then overall it's still um there's still some momentum in this given the recent developments. So I think it will be key to see how whether 227 can hold for the next few days. If it can, then there's still a good chance of it try to trend along a 5 MA and try to make new highs. If not, then we might see some range bound again to test like 203, where this swing low support. Then afterwards, you might do some sideways while waiting for the 10 MA to catch up to provide another possible support. Yeah, so that's for AMD. Some possible scenarios. Okay, next one for TSM. Overall, market pullback towards the 20 MA. Still also one of the strong, the nicest, steadily trending semicon stocks out there. Prior to Friday, and then pullback to 20 MA. Currently pre-market, it's about 294.60. So at this level, there might be some resistance like around 297 over here. There was some sideways consolidation from Monday to Thursday prior to that. So I think this level might have some resistance. Then overall price might be doing some slight sideways over here first with support. I think for now will be around the Friday lows level 280, around 281 to 285, 286 over here. Yeah, so I think I'm expecting some possible sideways. And then there's also earnings coming out this week as well. So I think we see again how the stock moves after the earnings. Okay, next one, ASML. So ASML also very strong. Then pulling back from a horizontal recent level like 1040, and some weakness is because it broke down this 10 MA, this trailing trend over here, like around 993. And retesting this horizontal level of 937, which was this swing low, and then also a previous swing high level as well. So I think this level is very important, 937. For it must maintain this level to try to continue this uptrend. If it breaks down, then I think we probably see some further weakness towards the lower levels like 865 towards this level. Yeah, but for now, some currently gap out, I think some resistance might still hold. If it does retest these 5 and 10 MA levels, that's somewhere close to 990 over here. Yeah, then afterwards we might see some sideways range bound trading first. Yeah, there's also earnings coming out this week for ASML, so we see again how it moves after the earnings. The next one, Marvel. Marvel also was steady trending upwards, then some pullback on Friday. Then I think currently it's near a support level where this 85.20 level, sorry, 85.20 was this previous swing high, then turned into support. And this level must hold for the overall this uptrend to try to continue. Yeah, for now I'm expecting some possible resistance around like $90.60 this level over here. And price might just move some sideways over here first. Yeah. So that's for Marvel. This 85.20 is quite important. Okay, I think I'll try to go a bit faster. I think there's still left 35 minutes. Okay, for Micron, Micron, I think, yeah, so also still okay. I think as long as this overall generate at least 170 can hold for the uptrend to continue, which is this range consolidation. In the short term wise, some weakness where um yeah, in the short term wise, a bit of weakness on Friday. But currently pre-market is around 190 again. So I think for this, some resistance will be like these recent levels, 196 to about 201 over here. So it might do some sideways over here. Then there's also if you can hold this 10 MA like 183, then that will be still okay for a bit of a sideways movement over here. Yeah, then for Broadcom, I think generally has been a bit weak as well. So for Broadcom, I think the key thing would be possibly this trend line support over here, which has been holding since middle of May. Yeah, and then another test on Friday. So I think this level is quite important, 325 about there, which also is this swing low over here. So currently, I think generally has been in the range of 325 to around 347, and then some resistance might come from retest of the MAs over here, like I think around 335 to 340 currently might be some resistance. Then this level 325 is quite important because it's this trend line support and then this swing low. And also if subsequently if price breaks down again, I think that might mean more weakness towards uh to maybe close out a gap to try and test the previous resistance like 306 to 316 over here, this area. Yeah. So that's for Broadcom. And then for Intel, I think it's consolidating sideways at this swing high resistance. So this 37 level was a previous swing high resistance and price is just moving sideways. I think in the very short term, I think this Friday lows is quite important, this 36.30, because it's moving sideways and then this is also the 10 MA level. So for the price to actually continue this bullish momentum upwards, it must manage to, from this consolidation, it must try to continue to form a higher high. Yeah, if it breaks below this, like this 36 to 36.30 level, then we might see some pullbacks to test this swing low, like closer to 30, like closer to 33.70 to $34. So that's for Intel moving sideways. Yeah, then for now, I will still expect a bit of a sideways with the next resistance upwards, possibly around $41, which was like a previous range back in February last year. Yeah, so that's generally for the semicons. Yeah, generally might be a bit sideways in general, I think. Then also some coming of earnings this week to know. And next one EV sector. So Tesla, I think overall, generally has been some weakness because since uh it gap up around 470 sell down, which generally has been a real weakness where price couldn't try to maintain above try to hold this 510 MA, which previously was trending upwards in. And then now we can see from this support has turned into a resistance over here, as well as couldn't hold 445 this breakout level as well. So generally has been some weakness recently. And then I would think that for now 426 to about maybe around 440, this area will be some resistance. Yeah, for now, which is currently the breakdown of these two swing low levels on the last Wednesday as well as Thursday, and currently the MA resistances as well. So for Tesla, generally there might be still, I think if it breaks below the like 400, 400 419 level over here, there might be still some further weakness where it could possibly come back to fill this gap for as a next support, like close to 396. Yeah. So for Tesla, in terms of the chart, still exhibiting some weakness. The next one is I'll talk about some of the other EV names. Xpeng. So explain for now, I think range, a bit range bound lah. So pull back from this 20, around somewhere around 2360 back to this level again. Where there could be some support coming in like 21 for a bit of bounce. Then in the short term wise, the resistance might be like 2250 over here, this breakdown level as well as the 20 MA level. Yeah, then for new also, since it tested this 770 swing high level, has been moving sideways and a bit of weakness starting to come in uh with on Friday. So currently testing the support 6.7. This must hold for the trend to stay intact because this was like resistance, then holding a certain support, and Friday tested this support again. So 6.7 is quite important. Then for now, resistance might be this 7.2 around there, which is around the MA levels as well. So maybe moving a bit sideways. If we break 6.7, then it could be more downside. Then for Rivian, generally still weakness overall since I break down back below 14.5 and then train finding that 5 MA as a resistance. So it might continue to pull back towards this old uh, support level where this is a swing low 12.57 and then next one is around somewhere closer to 12. Okay, sorry, I think that took up some time with the sectors today. I'll try to cover as much of the questions that I don't have. So first one, Han Allen. Thanks for your questions. First, Upstart, AMD, Net, CPRT. Yeah, so for first one for Upstart, I think generally has been quite weak. So has been on a downtrend. Then since the breakdown of this 61 around this 62 level then has been just trending downwards and finding the 5 and 10 MA as a resistance over here. So I think with that the trend might still continue downwards. Since it's moving sideways and then uh if it breaks down below Friday lows, we might continue to see some the next key support level I think could be somewhere around 4350, which previously over here there was a two retests that held a support. Yeah, so that's for Upstart. Okay, I think I'll try to go through a quick one on AMD again because I see a few questions to comment on AMD again. Is it still a good buy? So for AMD generally, yeah, so my take was that 227, this level, we must try to see a closing hold this 227 level again. So that would mean that despite the broad-based market sell-off last Friday, then this counter has still some strength. And then what I want to see that this 5 MA must still hold as a try to hold these closing prices over here. Then there might be some possibility of a higher high in the future. If it still holding 227 as a bit of resistance, then there could be a chance over here this could be a false breakout, and then uh price might revert back a bit lower to try maybe do some sideways trading afterwards, maybe test 203 again. Yeah, so these are some possible scenarios I think for AMD to we need to watch out for. The next one is on Cloudflare. Yeah, Cloudflare I think generally has been moving sideways. I think something to think to watch for this counter will be this level around 211 over here. So previously, okay, a very steady rebound since April, and then sideways at this swing high level, this previous recent swing high level 214 to like 218. But hasn't made a new higher high for quite some time, since about a month. So this level will be quite important. 211. It needs to hold. If there's a breakdown below this level, I think we'll probably see some further weakness ahead, given that this resistance has been tested as support many times already. Yeah, then next support level downwards will be like somewhere closer to 195 to 200 over here. So that's for Cloudflare. Most probably still continue sideways, I feel, for now. in this 211 to 229 currently. Next one is CPRT, which is Copart. Copart, I think for the chart, still generally has been still trending downwards. Yeah, with the breakdowns of this 45, 50 level, holding prior support as resistance and generally still trending below the short-term MA is 5 and 10. MA is still holding as resistance. So we might, I think, possibly see a continuation of this pullback. This weakness towards maybe 40, somewhere closer to 42.8. Where previously this was like 2023, that time this was a very strong horizontal support. And then I think if it hits there, then we might see some rebound coming. Okay, the next question is on ETHA, IB as well as MSI. First one, ETHA, the iShares Ethereum Trust. For this, it's moving in a range still. I think so. So for this, I think the important level to watch would be that this 2290 level must hold as a support over here. Because overall, it's in an uptrend where since April, like move upwards, move sideways, then trend upward, break out upwards again, then see a range, and then it has been this range for quite some time. And then this also did a retest of prior resistance and support. So this 2290 must hold for the overall uptrend since April to hold. Yeah, so for now, most likely still I think most likely still quite sideways, but there might be some resistance in the short term, somewhere around this 33 level, which is like around the currently where there's the midpoint of this range, where there was a bit of a support around there previously, 3250 around there. Okay, next one for IB, I think overall, most likely we will see some trade in this range will probably still hold. But the thing is that previously when the third time we tested this 6950 level, uh, it it could be a false break over here because it only held for a very short period of time, and then afterwards you see a weakness even before the Friday. Then currently Friday we tested this 6220 level as well over here. And then afterwards, today there's a pre-market gap down again. So we might see the next support level like close to 63.90, I guess, then followed by around 61.30. So overall, there's some weakness, and I think some resistance might come like 63 from this 63.30 to about 68 for now. Then we might see some it tests some of the lower levels of support like 63.90 as well as 61.30. If it 63.90 cannot hold. So generally still range, but more towards beginner side because of this price action of a possible or like most likely a false breakout over here. Okay, for MSI, my Motorola for this, I think generally still some weak price action recently because since it was trending outwards during this phase, and then also 472 over here retest that was support, but after subsequently the breakdown over here, like late September, we generally seen the trend reverse downwards. When the breakdown, then afterwards you see the test of this swing low rebound and then a bit of resistance over here. So price might be for the short term wise, it might be in a bit of a sideways consolidation where support is still 450, but possible lower high sit like form at this 465. So maybe some sideways movement for now. Then subsequently, if there's another break of 450, generally it might continue to go a bit lower to test like 439, this next previous resistance level at the point again. So I think for now still some weakness since the breakdown of like 472 since late September. Okay, next one is a stock that done well because of what happened on Friday, which is MP material. So the number related to rare earths. For MP material, I think generally still looks very good, the chart. I think it's the all-time highs as well. So generally, previously price was in this ascending triangle consolidation, then multiple tests of resistance 82. So hopefully, today is a bit of a gap up currently. I think what to look at for this would be to see whether this breakout holds at 82 or not. Yeah, if you can hold at least this 80 to 82 area again as support, then I think there could be quite a good chance of it trying to go to extend the uptrend. Yeah, but that's in terms of technicals, but also this stock to take note will be quite sensitive to also if there's any like ongoing news development regarding the rare earths as well. Yeah, but for in terms of the chart itself, it's still quite it could be a possible fresh breakout for this above 82. Next one, I'll move on to some of the crypto related counters and see some questions. Mara, Riot, BTPT, BTCM, CAN. Yeah, so for Mara, in terms of the chart, Mara still holding resistance at this 21 around there. 20, uh, yeah, so 20.8 around there. So yeah, for now, this level will be quite important. This is like 18.8 because this was like the bit of resistance where price broke out above, then did a retest on Friday. If it breaks below this swing level again, then most likely we could see possible further weakness to test to go back towards like this 16.6 lower support area. Yeah, but for now, I think most likely we'll see some sideways movement where this is already at a support level. Then resistance is like this 20 uh, like 20.7 to 2150 lah. So maybe still just moving sideways over here. The next one is Riot platform. For Riot, yeah, for Riot last Friday actually we tested this swing high like 2366. Okay, let me try to draw another potential resistance outwards. Like this 2680, perhaps it will be possibly the next resistance. But for now, I think still want a strong trend for this. I think currently respecting somewhere between the 10 MA and the 20 MA level. So whenever there's dips along there, there's some support. So I would think some support might come around close to $20 level, where there's a horizontal breakout level and it's close to a 10 MA over here. So I think this might be the support. And for now, I think yeah, we could see some sideways or a trend trying to continue upwards. Yeah, generally as long as this trailing level doesn't break, then I think we could still see the uptrend continue. Yeah, for BT next, I think for this is still resistance for now, like around 4.2. Then support for now most likely I think will be in a zone like 3.4 to 3.6 area. This area over here where there's a swing high, and then currently there's 10 MA over here. So most likely some pullback from the resistance, and then uh, could see some sideways movement for now, I guess, where this is like a support and then above 4 to 4.3 is the resistance. For BCM, quite low volume, this one. And then for generally for this, I think it has been whenever there's kind of pops, they tend to sell on the pop itself. And afterwards, just moving in a range. Yeah. Yeah, so for this, I think currently some resistance like 3, and then support is still holding like 2.5 around there. Yeah, so I think for now, we'll still give it like, looks like still a range continue, but has been lower highs generally along the way. So if 3 breaks, then next time we could see maybe like 2.5 as the next support. Yeah. The next one, CAN, Canon Inc. For this, yeah, some pullback from the pop over here, and then I think this area will be there might be some support coming at this area where uh, like this 1.09 around here. Horizontal previous resistance level might hold as support. Friday tested it, so by then for now I think some short-term resistance will be like this 1.25 breakdown level here. So maybe some slight bounce, then maybe some sideways movement for now. Yeah. Then generally support the next support level generally I think is around like around somewhere around close to 92, 92.5 cents around there. Okay, hi T. Your counters are Duolingo, TLT, Adobe, as well as UNH. Okay, for Duolingo, I think generally has been on downtrend. But some positive signs is that I think some positive signs will be to see whether it can hold this level at 320. So afterwards, during the pullback, actually tested is 275. Okay, then afterwards rebound a few times. Generally, uh, uh, okay, rebounded twice, like, and then went back to retest this support breakdown as a bit of resistance at 330, still holding, but it's been a bit of a higher lows along the way. So subsequently, if this trend of lower highs along the way, if this trend can actually continue and hopefully like around somewhere around 320, if this can hold as support and subsequently try to break out again, and then we could possibly see some slight recovery for Duolingo. The next level of resistances will probably be around 370. Next one's around 405 around there. Yeah, 406. Yeah. So I think this one still need to see whether you can turn this support breakdown. There's currently resistance as back into level that it can stand above. Okay, next one for TLT. Okay, TLT. Okay, TLT, I think there might be some slight retracement for now, because if you look at the inverse, which is I will take the 20-year bond yield, around here is a level of support, like around 4.62. So over here, I think anywhere from like 4.56 to 4.62 area of support. There could be some side rebound, then short for the bond yield. So if you look back at PLT, this area also like there's like a swing high over here, 90.7. So there might be some slight pullback over here, but I think overall uptrend is still intact because we see higher highs, higher lows. And short-term support might be this retest of this level around somewhere around 89.60 about there. Yeah, then afterwards, I think the next key resistance will be somewhere around 91.8, somewhere possibly around 91.80 to $92 about there. Okay, next one is, although I think for now it's still a range, because for this the 362 level is still holding as resistance. Then tested this support level around 333 twice already. So it looks like possibly it will come down to test again. Then short term resistance will be, I think the breakdown of this around 345 recently. Yeah, and as well as the 5 and 10 MA levels over here might be the short term resistance. So for this, generally still in the range, but I think downtrend is still carrying on. And possibly some slight bounce. There could be a slight bounce again. We test 330, but it's a downtrend from now. So there, I think multiple tests over here, there's still some weakness and might be maybe a lower high bounce over here. Yeah, then if it breaks down 333 subsequently, then I think it might continue to downtrend to test like 320.6, which is like the next support level downwards. Next one is on United Health. Okay, United Health, I think overall, the rebound is still intact. Okay, because it did a range consolidation over here, so sideways recently, and then yes, for now, let's see whether this breakout resistance around 354 can hold as support over here. Yeah, so it currently looks like it's doing a retest of this breakout range over here. And generally, I think as long as don't break below 322 this level, then I think overall the rebound is still intact. Yeah. For now, just looks like a range retest. And if can recover, I think most likely it will continue to try to continue the trend upwards. Yeah, currently also managed to close out this gap previously over here as well. This is 377. In terms of next level of resistance upwards, I think the next key one, not much key resistance along the way until like somewhere closer to 420s, 430s, based on there was a very big range breakdown previously. Yeah, so 420 to 430, that will be a strong resistance in the future if it continues to trend upwards. Okay, next one, Fortinet. Fortinet for now, I think it's possibly still in another range itself. Yeah, since the breakout of this range over here, the level at 81.20, then it has formed another range between 81.20 to 86.20 over here. So it looks like just moving sideways for now, I guess. Above 86.20, the next key level, I think is around uh 80, somewhere around 90, somewhere around 91 about there, 90 to 91. Then followed by that would be a gap over here around 96. But for now, I think most likely still just moving range bound. The next one is Salesforce. I think Salesforce also for now still in a bit of a downtrend. Then tested the support area a few times over here, like around 234 about there. Yeah. So for now, I think it's still quite weak unless price can try to break out this um downwards resistance line over here, which is like around 240, uh around 247 about there, as well as the which is also around this horizontal resistance recently as well. Then perhaps we could see some slight rebound, but I also don't expect too much because overall still downtrend, and also above that there's also quite some resistance around 255 to like 257. Yeah, so for now I think suppose this downwards resistance line holds that reason, most likely still some range bound movement at 234 to like 246 around here. Okay, next one, Essential. I think for now it's looks like a bit of a range bound. Price has got try to get out this downwards resistance line. Then yeah, for now I think this level will be quite important. This 240 level where there's a bit of resistance over here. Then over here with the breakout holding as support. So this area must hold as support for it. Try to go upwards again. If this breaks, then it might come back down towards this 235 level again. Yeah, then uh yeah, this level must hold for rebound back towards like 253 over here to do some sideways movement. Then there could be a possibility of a bigger rebound in future. But for now, I think this level is quite important, like 240, to see whether it holds as support for it to try to go high. That's why Moderna for this, I think probably is right quite range bound because right in the near term, I think it's moving sideways between 2570 to about 2870 over here. Yeah, unless you can try to break out this resistance, then there's also quite another near term resistance ahead, like close to 31. Then for now, most likely just sideways over here. Okay, sorry, I think in view of time, I'll try to go through one more questions about 9:15. Sorry, I think there's still quite a lot of questions that are unable to go through out. My apologies for that. So I'll go through the last one. Eli Lilly. Um, for Eli Lilly, currently in terms of the price action, I think recently some slight pullback after this strong rally over here that cleared the resistance at this 760 level, and then also 820 level here. So for this, I think short-term pullbacks, near-term support will be around this somewhere close to 820 with a 10 ME level, as well as this horizontal resistance previously. Then it might do some sideways over here short term wise, like 858 is still some resistance. Yeah. Then next key level afterwards, I think will be somewhere around 890, somewhere close to 897, this swing high over here. Yeah, so I think that's for Eli Lilly the short term. Okay, sorry, I will stop sharing my screen for now, for today. I see there's still quite a lot of questions. Yeah, for everyone. I think there's also a suggestion to limit every attendee to a max of 3 questions. Okay, I will do. Thanks for your suggestion. I will consider that to try to give everyone a chance to uh for their questions to be answered. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm unable to take all the questions. But thanks for your attending today's session as well as dropping your questions in the chat. Uh, yeah. Let me just share my. Uh, I will share some links in the chat. Yeah. Then let me just drop. Yeah, so I'll drop a survey form. So that's the link you can fill up to leave any feedback about today's session so I can try to improve your experience further in the future. Also, if you are new here, welcome. Feel free to join the P3 community on technical analysis with Evan. So it's a community group that you can ask uh, questions over there, and then I will try to answer when I see them. And then also, if you're new or you haven't joined, the Poems TA Telegram group handle is also there at Poems TA. So same, I'll post some TA content over there, and also you can ask questions over there as well. So I saw some questions regarding the replay, whether the replay will be made available, uh, will be provided after the call. Yes, it will be uploaded on the PhillipCapital YouTube page. So, and then I will also drop the replay link in the Telegram group as well. So you can view at your own free time afterwards. And then also I see some other questions. Can you present for other markets like China, Hong Kong, Singapore stocks? Yes, I can talk about that as well. So if you have any questions about other markets, for example, these markets, also can just feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A. I also take them because yeah, TA can just I will talk. Yeah, TA can just apply to all these other stuff as well. Yeah, then for the major US indices, are they still in the general uptrend mode, like the SPY, QQQ, DIA? Yes, I do think they're still in the uptrend mode. But it's also quite healthy. Finally we see a bit of a slight pullback after a very steady run. So I think overall it's generally still in the general uptrend mode. Yeah, that's my take. Yes, so I that's all for today's session. Thanks everyone for attending, and I hope you all have a good training week ahead, and then also do keep a lookout for any news. I mean, any new news that comes out, and also earnings season is starting, so there's many bank counters reporting results as well as I think some the notable ones are the ASML, TSM, etc. So just do keep a lookout for all these earnings as well as other developments that takes place in the markets. And I hope to see you all again in the next session. And just like to wish everyone a good night ahead and then a good week ahead as well. So trade safe and bye bye. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Hope to see you again in the next session.